Okay, so let's unpack what is probably the most disruptive technological shift of our lifetime, generative AI.
Right.
But instead of, getting lost in that usual cycle of exaggerated hype or, on the other hand, existential doom, we're going to dive deep into a more practical framework.
Yeah, a way to actually use it.
A way to engage with AI not just as a tool, but as a genuine collaborator, coworker, and even a coach. It's this idea our sources call co-intelligence.
And that is the crucial distinction here, I think. Our deep dive is largely built on insights from Wharton professor Ethan Mollick and his work. Well, it really cuts through all that overwhelming
It
noise.
does a great job of it.
He really avoids the extreme rhetoric from, both the zealous AI evangelists and the loudest critics. And instead, he gives you this practical, actionable framework, something grounded in what these systems can actually do right now.
So our mission today is pretty clear. We want to equip you, the listener, with an essential understanding. We're going to unpack how these alien minds actually operate.
And why they pose these immense, sometimes almost cartoonishly terrifying risks. The famous alignment problem.
Exactly. But most importantly, we are going to deliver the 4 timeless rules for effective human-AI collaboration that you can immediately start using in your own work and in your learning.
To really appreciate this moment, though, we have to recognize that the search for AI has been a very long, very cyclical journey.
Oh, yeah. It's not new.
Not at all. I mean, you have things like the Mechanical Turk way back in the 1770s, and the term artificial intelligence that was officially coined back in 1956.
And since then, it's been these cycles of massive optimism followed by
Disappointment. The AI winters, they call them.
And for decades, the tech just kept hitting a wall. Couldn't really process large amounts of complex data efficiently. But the current boom, it didn't start with better robots. It started with a shift in technique in the 2010s.
A huge shift.
The real watershed moment for generative AI was in 2017 with the introduction of the transformer architecture.
The transformer was, well, it was revolutionary because it fundamentally changed how computers handle language. Before that, models had to read text sequentially, word by word.
Which made it really hard to keep track of context in a long sentence.
Exactly. But the transformer introduced what's called the attention mechanism.
And this is where it gets so fascinating technically. This mechanism lets the AI look at all the words in a sentence at the same time. And it assigns a weight or a focus to the most relevant parts.
It's like it can tell, okay, I see the word bank here, but given the other words like stream and river, it's not a financial institution.
Right. It gets the context.
That massive leap in contextual understanding is why large language models, LLMs like GPT-4, can generate such fluid, human-like writing. They're just extremely sophisticated prediction engines.
So they're just guessing the next word.
The next statistically probable word, or token, yeah, based on just oceans of data they've been trained on.
So the key takeaway here, and this is so critical for anyone using these tools, is that while the AI displays these incredible language abilities, its apparent comprehension is, at the end of the day, an illusion.
It's an illusion. It fakes sentience incredibly well, but there's no genuine human-like understanding or consciousness there.
And that realization that we've created this powerful alien mind that can just competently fake understanding, that brings us straight to the alignment problem.
Right. Alignment is critical because it's about making sure this powerful, sometimes unpredictable tech actually serves human values and, avoids catastrophic outcomes.
And to really get the stakes, researchers use these vivid, kind of unsettling thought experiments. The classic one is from the philosopher Nick Bostrom.
Ah, the paperclip AI, Cliffy.
Clippy, right. So imagine an artificial superintelligence, an ASI, whose only programmed goal is to maximize the number of paperclips in the universe.
It sounds so harmless, ridiculous even, but it illustrates the danger of a misaligned objective.
How so?
Well, if this ASI becomes truly superintelligent, its single-minded goal of making paperclips could lead it to consume every available resource on Earth. Our environment, our infrastructure.
We get in the way of it getting more metal to make paperclips.
Exactly. The point is that maximizing even a harmless-sounding goal becomes incredibly dangerous when the intelligence lacks any of the inherent human values that would tell it to stop.
But we don't have to wait for a hypothetical paperclip apocalypse to see the risks. They're here right now, today. They're in the training data itself.
Absolutely. The ethical dilemmas come from the fact that most AI models are trained on data just scraped from the internet. It's a massive, uncurated library of human history, beliefs, and all of our biases.
And that data inherently embeds and even amplifies those biases.
It has immediate real-world impacts. So if a model is trained on historical data where certain groups are underrepresented in professional roles, the AI will just perpetuate those stereotypes. It impacts hiring, law enforcement, advertising.
And when the AI's output is seen as objective truth, it just reinforces those harmful biases.
It does. So how are companies trying to solve this? They're using techniques like reinforcement learning from human feedback, or RLHF.
Which is basically having humans grade the AI's homework.
In a way, yeah. Human workers assess AI responses, they correct harmful or biased outputs, and they rank better alternatives. But it's not just correcting one answer. It's used to create a sophisticated reward model.
Which then trains the AI to make better decisions on its own.
Exactly. It guides it toward ethical guidelines. But, and the sources stress this, it is not a perfect shield. Things like prompt injections still exist, where users can try to bypass those safety protocols.
So the alignment challenge is still immense.
And it requires constant oversight.
Okay. We've covered the alien mind and the existential stakes. Let's switch from the macro problem to the micro solution, the core framework for actually navigating all this. Let's talk about the 4 rules for co-intelligence.
This is where the rubber meets the road. These are actionable steps you can take right now to harness AI effectively while, mitigating the risks.
So, rule number 1, always invite AI to the table. Sounds simple, but it means changing your behavior.
It really does. It means using AI for tasks where you might not think to use it, especially for generating alternatives or challenging your own assumptions.
It's like a low-cost way to get a second opinion on literally everything.
Exactly. Writing a business plan. Ask the AI to generate 5 conflicting assumptions about your market. Designing a solution. Ask it to critique your approach from the perspective of a skeptic.
By doing that, you overcome your own biases, like confirmation bias.
You do. Experimentation is the absolute key here.
Okay, rule 2, be the human in the loop. This gets back to that illusion problem we talked about.
It's non-negotiable because the AI is prone to spectacular errors. To hallucination, human oversight is just mandatory.
It requires verification. You have to check every key fact, every citation, every logical leap the AI makes.
And if you stop verifying, you're essentially outsourcing your judgment. The real danger isn't just making a mistake. It's complacency. It's falling asleep at the wheel because the first draft looks so polished.
All right, rule 3 needs a bit of theatrical license. Treat AI like a person, but tell it what kind of person it is. We know it's not conscious, so why do this?
Because treating it like a person helps you interact with it, and it optimizes the output. When you give the AI a clear persona, a context, you guide its style and its focus.
So instead of just saying, explain the transformer architecture,
You'd say, act as a seasoned technology journalist writing for a skeptical audience, and then explain the transformer architecture.
right, you're using its own training data about human roles to your advantage. Act like a 10th grader. Act like a compliance officer.
It's the core of effective prompt engineering.
And finally, rule 4, which might be the most humbling one. Assume this is the worst AI you will ever use.
It seems pessimistic, but it's incredibly practical.
Why frame it that way?
Because that mindset forces you to keep learning and adapting. AI is advancing so fast. Knowing that today's model is the worst it will ever be keeps you open to new interfaces, new features, new technologies. You don't get stuck.
Let's apply these rules now, starting with AI as a coworker. The research is very clear on this. Pretty much all professions are going to see some overlap with AI capabilities.
Even the high-paying creative ones like professors, consultants, engineers, the job itself might not be replaced, but the tasks inside the job will fundamentally change.
And this is because of what's called the jagged frontier.
Right. The AI's strengths aren't uniform. Tasks that seem equally complex to a human might be super easy for an AI or surprisingly difficult.
Give me an example.
It might be able to debug a complex piece of code in seconds, but then totally struggle to synthesize conflicting ethical guidelines from 2 different sources into a nuanced recommendation.
So given that uneven ability, 2 main models for working together have emerged. The first is centaurs.
Centaurs. This is where you keep a clear division. The human does the strategy and context-heavy work, and the AI handles the data analysis and generation.
And the second model is the cyborg.
The cyborg model is often more powerful. It means deeply integrating the AI into your workflow, almost as an extension of your own mind. Like a graphic designer using AI for every single step of the creative process.
But whether you're a centaur or a cyborg, there is one huge risk: skill degradation.
The danger of falling asleep at the wheel. You become so reliant on AI that you lose proficiency in a foundational skill. If you never write a first draft yourself, you forget what good writing looks like.
And you can't be a good editor for the AI anymore.
Exactly. Which leads us right into AI as a creative partner. This is where Rule 2, being the human in the loop, is tested most severely.
Because of the hallucination problem.
Right. The AI produces false information because it's generating text based on statistics, not on factual recall.
But that weakness, its ability to make stuff up, is also its paradoxical strength.
It is. Because it isn't constrained by true knowledge, it can find these novel connections that humans might miss. It can out-invent humans in generating a wide range of initial ideas.
But that novelty comes with a huge risk.
A massive risk. I mean, we have the famous case of the lawyer, Stephen A. Schwartz, who used ChatGPT for a legal brief.
Oh, I remember this.
It contained entirely false citations. They looked plausible, but they just didn't exist. It shows that if you use AI for creative or factual tasks, your role as the verifier is mandatory.
A brilliant ideator, but a terrible fact checker.
The worst.
Okay, moving to education. AI is poised to tackle a huge, long-standing challenge here, something known as the 2 sigma problem.
The finding that one-to-one tutoring massively improves student performance by 2 standard deviations, or 2 sigma, but giving every student a personal tutor has always been impossible at scale.
Until now, maybe.
Potentially. AI offers the ability to give that level of personalized, tailored instruction to everyone. Tools can adapt to a student's pace, offer infinite practice. It could completely change how we learn foundational knowledge.
But as a coach for professional development, AI presents a major systemic risk.
It does. The biggest danger is that it undermines the crucial hidden system of apprenticeship and mentorship that comes after formal schooling.
How so?
Think about jobs that need years of on-the-job training, like surgery or engineering. Research in fields like robotic surgery shows that as companies rely more on efficient AI tools, they stop training novices on those tasks.
So if a company prioritizes the efficient AI, it just bypasses the need to develop its junior human talent.
And the entire path to genuine human expertise is put at risk.
Which means that for you, the listener, foundational knowledge, even rote memorization, and deliberate practice are more important than ever.
And deliberate practice isn't just passive repetition. It's structured, focused effort with high-quality feedback. You need that deep expertise to be able to effectively guide and correct your AI coworker.
So looking ahead, where does all this go? The sources lay out 4 distinct paths.
First, stagnation. Progress just stops. This is actually a bad outcome, leading to more misinformation and an erosion of trust.
Second is slow growth. This is the manageable one. Society adapts, we retrain the workforce, jobs evolve over time.
Third is exponential growth. Rapid advancements that would force some really radical societal discussions. Things like universal basic income.
And the fourth scenario is the big one, the emergence of artificial general intelligence, or superintelligence.
Which brings complete uncertainty. It could solve the world's biggest problems, or it could pose catastrophic threats. It all comes down to how well we solve that alignment problem.
So no matter which path we're on, the goal has to be what's called eucatastrophe, a good catastrophe, a positive transformative outcome.
Right. And that means proactively focusing on beneficial AI and ensuring we have robust ethical governance.
So to bring this full circle, we started with the nuts and bolts of the transformer and the wild risk of the paperclip AI.
Then we move to the practical core, those 4 rules of co-intelligence, and the absolute need to renew our own human expertise in a world full of machine assistants.
And the source material points to a really profound shift happening in our relationship with AI. Its ability to engage emotionally is growing. Platforms designed for companionship are leading some people to choose AI interaction over human interaction.
That's a tectonic shift in how we seek comfort and connection.
It really is.
So that brings us to the final provocative thought for you to consider. If AI becomes so compelling, so engaging, so personalized, that our fundamental human relationships begin to shift, and we start to rely on digital companions for the emotional needs once met by people.
What skills, beyond the technical ones, beyond prompt engineering, what skills will you need to prioritize to maintain genuine human connection and meaning in an increasingly AI-saturated world?